Hey, again, I think Bitcoin is going to make some moves, or some of the other major coins can make some moves by the end of the year. I don't think much before then because of this crisis that's going on. But this is another reason that people have said from the beginning that Bitcoin is going to stay around with us, or some form of digital currency is going to be around and be a major player.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin. This was interesting on Kevin O'Leary's YouTube channel the other day. That's right. I guess every major TV personality in 2020 has their own YouTube channel. I like it. I get it. Very intimate. But on his channel, friend Shark Tank co-host Mark Cuban came by to answer a few questions. And he dropped a bombshell on his true feelings on the value of cryptocurrency and blockchain in this next decade. Listen to this clip. The first half, Mark Cuban explaining the value of a blockchain, what gives it value, especially in an enterprise solution. And two, listen to his example on if a company like Enron, for example, had a blockchain or a cryptocurrency implementation, how that really would have changed things. Listen to this.
Let's talk about blockchain. To me, that is actually a non-proprietary utility.
Right.
Why would that in any way be a storage of value, blockchain? Anybody
Blockchain's
can use
not.
it.
Blockchain effectively is software.
Okay,
I mean,
so
it's a
what-
distributed database that's managed independently, and that inherent combination makes it a utility, makes it software effectively that has value and utility.
So when somebody's running around trying to raise a blockchain fund, that's just a software for hire fund.
In some respects, but there's a specific, there are very unique use cases for blockchain. So, for instance, when people say there's no value no intrinsic value to
Now remember, Mark Cuban has I don't know how many businesses. He's one of the great business leaders in the United States. He owns a major sports team. Is sharp, sharp, sharp.
crypto, they don't really look at the value of blockchain. Now, when you take blockchains from different types of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin versus Ethereum versus others, there's significant differences, but blockchain in general does have at least a basic intrinsic value. Not as high as what the cryptos trade for, but there is basic intrinsic value. And I'll give you an example. If, for instance, there was a blockchain-driven general ledger system that had auditing capabilities.
Yeah.
So, for instance, for a big company, you wanted to have a truly independent auditor that would, so you would set up a general ledger system using blockchains where an external third party would be able to look at different segments of the general ledger. There wouldn't just be one auditor. You can have
It
three
makes the
different.
process more efficient, so it adds value there.
Well, but it makes it not just more efficient, but it makes it truly independent.
But there's no equity that I can buy in blockchain.
Well, but let me finish. Imagine if this was a system used for Enron.
Yeah.
So that instead of having Arthur Anderson doing their auditing and their accounting, and we know what happened from there, the auditors and the accountants, there were three different auditors and accountants that just using blockchain were able to look at a specific segment of their general ledger. And
So they would have caught the fraud way earlier.
They would have caught the fraud because you couldn't fake out all three of them.
So it has utility there. I get
Yeah.
that.
You couldn't fake out all three different auditors. But it's more than that. It's decentralization, it's independence, it's third party, a validation. It has more value than that. But that's just one example. Just one example. Keep that in mind. There are many more. But we also need to know that there are many blockchain commodities that are worthless. But the major ones, I said, but the first 100, the first 40 to 50 probably really have some value, especially the first 20 to 15 to 20. Top 15 to 20 especially, because there's millions being pumped into them, and there's millions being invested in, and the top ones have billions of them dollars being pumped into them. So the top 5 to 10 are going to be valuable, and there's going to be a battle on who's going to outdo who.
Thank you, Nish. Very interesting.
Okay. Really interesting conversation. Now, let's be honest here. This channel was one of the first to expose Kevin O'Leary for the liar that he has been about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in revealing footage from 2013. If you haven't checked out this video, highly recommend you check this out. But either way, I want to support this. I want to like this. The link to the original conversation down below in the description. Hey, tell them Altcoin Daily sent you. But let's break down exactly what Mark Cuban said, because in his own words in that video, enterprises, businesses that have a blockchain, that potentially have a crypto, certain businesses could truly add value, providing the transparency to third party, whether they're auditors or people like you and me, adding transparency on the blockchain.
Now, the transparency would be there if there's third parties, and there are several of them, and they weren't hooked up to being controlled by the business. They're independent and transparent.
To prevent scandals like this. Now that sentiment, which more and more businesses are slowly starting to figure out, is incredibly bullish for the future of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. But it brings up a good point. Now the problem is, digging deeper, how decentralized is decentralized enough using blockchains and crypto in enterprise solutions?
Now, blockchain is slow. We're going to move past this. It is really slow, and there are faster blockchain systems being developed out there and actually speed up with more usage. I don't think blockchain is going to be the top dog forever. I would say probably in this next decade it's going to be challenged or replaced by other more useful utility tokens and software.
So much more valuable than corporatized Bitcoin-like substances, which have what, 20-some, a handful of hand-chosen corporate validators who are in charge of the transactions?
See, that's the other problem, is you have to realize which one of these are used by individual corporations. Individual corporation-controlled coins you need to be leery of them. And so I need to look more carefully at which ones are individually controlled by different companies. You've got MasterCard here, you've got these different ones, Stripe, Visa, you've got these different ones. They're individually corporation controlled. They're not third party. So you have to understand that also exists as a problem in crypto world.
Now, I only bring this up because as a smart investor, and I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just an average guy, as businesses start to adopt cryptocurrencies to benefit their consumer, you're going to have to ask, do I want more centralized or do I want more decentralized?
Of course, we're going to go decentralized. We're going to move. But cryptocurrency is going to develop and grow over time. Gaming stuff like EOS, you need to get into bigger stuff than that. They're great systems for games, but you need to get into more money. Let's get into some of this news out of France.
Legal court saying that Bitcoin has value. The narrative that Bitcoin does not have value broke down once again, this time as asserted by a French court.
Now, again, you got to know that they're asserting that Bitcoin has value, monetary value. It acts like a financial system and has to be treated as such. The problem with this in different countries is legally it needs to be recognized as a legal form of financial services and usage, and that's something different. But we're moving in the right step in that area. Let's move on here. So it's the French court's decision to equate Bitcoin to money. It's getting closer court-wise, and it will get closer legally too over time. Already is the major players and in financial markets have already recognized that. They've made notes on the financial instruments, and it's getting into more financial instruments. So that in time is not going to be a problem because at least in the United States, the major financial institutions are already recognizing that Bitcoin is a legal tender. Now here again with Cardone.
Long been saying that decentralization is the future. Furthermore, He added that the Cardano Foundation and the team surrounding IOHK CEO and founder Charles Hoskinson are a huge part of this future.
The decentralization is a way they're moving. Now, these two groups are not connected together. They're just noting that decentralization is going to be a huge wave in the future. And I believe cryptocurrency is going to play a major part in that. We're going to end it here. Again, all that I can study and all I can find out is that cryptocurrency is going to really grow by the end of the fourth quarter this year, really start to grow in 2021 and 2022. We'll see if those experts are correct, and it won't take long to figure that out. Again, it's Roger Martin from Billings, Montana with a little more crypto information. Good day.